Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peter Likes Books. And today, I'm gonna do the first big, huge spring book haul of April 2018. So before I get into the physical books, I would like to go into my Audible and tell you guys all of the books that I bought on Audible recently. And there were quite a few because I went in there and I was just like, I bought 3 extra credits and I didn't see that I had 2 credits or something, I don't know. And so I ended up buying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't think I've talked 8. I don't think I've talked 9. I don't think I've talked about many of these books on here. So I'm going to talk about them on here. The other thing is I noticed that I have 4 credits on my Audible right now. So if you guys have like listened to an incredible audiobook, will you list it below so that I know like which audiobooks to try next? I'm kind of like going into this craze right now. And the book that I bought most recently that I'm listening to right now is The Dangerous Art of Blending In by Angelo Stromelis. And it is a book about, I think, a 17-year-old a Greek-American teenager that is in the process of, I think, coming out, and he kind of has a crush on his best friend that he didn't have a crush on before, and then he went to this Greek summer camp, and his mother from the get-go is, and I'm not spoiling anything because I'm literally just like a half an hour into it, his mother is extremely physically abusive. Now, I will tell you, one of the things that is very interesting to me about this book is that they really, or the author really displays in detail the mother's physical abuse on a teenager, and it's very interesting to read. I haven't read a book like this ever, I don't think, where it's like detailed abuse from a mother to an like almost adult son. It's very, very interesting, and the way that they handle it, it is a little trigger warning if you have a history of physical abuse, I will tell you that. It's painful to read and to listen to on Audible. And then the next book that I bought on Audible is Meddling Kids, a novel by Edgar Cantero. Have I already talked about this in a book haul? I don't think so. I saw this at the bookstore, and I really, really, really wanted to buy this book. The cover is absolutely beautiful. It's like purple and real weird and Halloween-y looking. And, oh, Boo Radley's here, and he wants to be in a video. He says, hello. Did you do a book haul this month? He said, I got all the Clifford and Corduroy books. Those are his favorites. Okay, so you're going to go sit over here. And, okay, there you go, buddy. And, so anyway, I don't really know much about it. It kind of reads a little bit like It, where it's like a group of friends when they're younger and then they're grown up and like the mystery occurs again. Has anybody read this? Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. I'm excited about it. And then I got another young adult book, LGBT book called Noah's Song by Jacqueline Osborne. I know absolutely nothing about it. The Serpent King by Jeff Zentner, and I got this. I'm starting to feel like I did talk about these. I don't know. I got that, so I'll make it real quick. Because I have the book over there, and I've wanted to read it forever, and I never have. And I started reading a book of his from the library last year. I got We Now Return to Regular Life by Martin Wilson, which I have heard fantastic things about. And Behind Her Eyes, a novel by Sarah Pinborough. And it is like one of the hottest mysteries out this year. So, and then I also got Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. I mean, I have heard for years fantastic things about that. And then I also got The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón because I'm doing buddy reads with Damien Terraquez. But I'm so far behind on that that I don't know when that's going to happen. So, if you guys have audiobooks, if you are addicted to Audible like I am, put in the comment section below an audiobook that you have read recently, that you loved, that you thought was great, all that kind of stuff. Now, I have, look at all these books. No, I have a whole other stack over here. So I'm just gonna pull books left and right, and I don't know which ones I'm gonna pull, and we'll just stack them up over here, okay? The first book that I got is Orange, which is Manga. Now, I think it's pronounced Manga. If I'm wrong, correct me below. By Ichigo Takano. And I have wanted to get this forever. Jesse the Reader actually did a review on this like 2 years ago. And Boo Radley, what are you doing? He's like, I'm going on a scavenger hunt. You're doing my book scavenger hunt tag? So anyway, so I have like gone to, the only place I can find it, I went to the library, I went to Half Price Books, I never see it. The only place I could find it was Barnes & Noble. And I have gone there so many times and almost bought it, but it's like $20. I'm like, I don't know that I want to spend, I thought it was like $30, but it was $19.99. So the other day I sat down and I started reading this in Barnes & Noble, and I was like, I have to get this. Like, this is fantastic. It is about this girl, and she gets a letter from herself 10 years in the future, and it's telling her things that are going to happen and like what she has to do. And don't ruin it for me because I just started it, but I am kind of obsessed with it already. It's really, really good. And then the next book that I got, and I'm not going to talk much about this, but I will tell you what's interesting, was that when I was at Barnes & Noble, it is like one of the most like pumped books right now, PR-wise, and that is The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. I just did a whole review. I talked all about this, talked about the author and everything on my most recent Page Habit, because I got this with Page Habit, the unboxing, for March. So go look at my March Page Habit unboxing, and you'll get to hear all of the things about this. There are author annotations, and yeah, so I'm really excited about reading this. I'm just pulling books. The next one I got, I was sent to by the author, and that is J.C. Masick III's Cargo, An Edge of Your Seat thriller, Meet Their Terms or Die. Now, let me tell you what my deal is when authors contact me, okay? I get contacted a lot by authors, and they'll say, here's the premise of my book, you know, blah, blah, blah. Would you be willing to read this, you know, for a review and all this kind of stuff? And they're always very polite. If it's a book that I'm interested in, I will say, hey, here's the deal. Yes, I will read your book, but I can't promise you like when it will be done and all that kind of stuff. I also suggest that I'll hold it up and I will link it in my video, so that's what I'm doing. But this book specifically was one that when I read the synopsis for it, it did sound really interesting. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the movie Saw, and y'all know I love a good horror movie. So let me read you the back of it, and I will also link it in the description box. The Cargo. Over the years, Anthony Peterson has amassed a fortune, numerous properties, a trophy wife, and a reputation for ruthless business dealings. He is a man who is used to getting his own way. But when Peterson wakes to find himself locked in a metal shipping container with only a cell phone and 24 hours of air left, he begins to unravel. Desperate to escape, Peterson soon learns that there is more to the container than he first realized. And when the kidnappers call and demand $10 million while threatening to murder and rape his beautiful wife if he doesn't comply, Peterson must fight to meet their impossible terms or face being left to die alone in the darkness. Why has Peterson been targeted? Who are those responsible for his kidnap? And will Peterson make out of the container alive? Cargo is an edge-of-your-seat thriller about the choices we make. I think it sounds really, really good. It is, let's see, 245 pages. So I will link it below and you guys can go check it out. All right. Okay, the next two books. Now, I'm going to make y'all go watch my vlog for this because I did a very, very special, P.O. box unboxing. And I think it's on my video, the last one that I called like a P.O. unboxings. I opened a bunch of stuff on there. But I was sent, okay, now I am obsessed with old movie stars, Alfred Hitchcock, those cold movies, Grace Kelly, you know, all that kind of stuff. I'm obsessed with Frances Farmer, and I loved the movie Frances with Jessica Lange, and for years and years and years, I wanted to read the book about the Frances Farmer autobiography about how she had gotten arrested for DUI, and then she ended up in a psych facility, and all this kind of stuff, and supposedly, there was like, anyway, there's all this kind of craziness that supposedly happened. I'm like in my head thinking about the letter that I received with the books, but I don't want to spoil that, so you have to go over and watch the vlog too. But about like there supposedly she got like a lobotomy, but that wasn't proven to be true, so she got shock therapy. Anyway, there's so much, but the book is called Will There Really Be a Morning by Frances Farmer. Oh my God! I was so excited to get this in the mail. Frances Farmer had everything. A Latter-day Cinderella, she rose from a stormy, poverty-stricken childhood in Seattle to stardom on Broadway and in Hollywood in the turbulent 30s. She had beauty, talent, and a career that was a realization of the American dream. Then it all fell apart, and Frances Farmer was plunged into an unending nightmare of madness and degradation. A cruelty beyond endurance and terror beyond its belief. This is her story as she lived it. I have wanted this since 9th grade and could not find an episode of it. Couldn't find a copy of it. And then I was also sent Shadowland by William Arnold, which is the biography about her. So go watch my P.O. unboxing because it is very cool, very cool. And I talk all about how I got it and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So So the next thing is, I was at Half Price Books the other day, and I was just kind of looking around for books that I want to read this spring and summer, and I have never read The Chronicles of Narnia, and so I was sitting there, and I honest to God didn't even know that the first one in this series is called The Magician's Nephew, and so I got the first one, and then I also got The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which I've read pieces of through the years. I've seen different, you know, adaptations of it, movie-wise, cartoons, things like that, but I've never read the series, and I've always wanted to read the series. My mother was a huge C.S. Lewis fan, but she really liked some of his more religious dissertation or spiritual dissertation, so to speak. So I'm interested to read about all this and this fantasy, and I know that some people out there like love this. So I'm very, very excited about that. Okay. The next book, oh, I got this when I got orange. Now, I haven't read many graphic novels because I don't know what graphic novels to read. I'm not really into the Marvel comics and all this kind of stuff. I'm almost kind of nervous to share this on here, honestly. So if you're not over the age of 18, you probably need to fast forward through this part of this video. But one of my friend's husbands recommended for me to get the graphic novel. I don't think there's anything wrong to show on here. No, there's not. Sex Criminals Volume 1, One Weird Trick. Matt Fraction and Chip Zdarsky. So let me read to you what it says. Susie has a secret. For her, sex literally makes the world come to a standstill. John has a problem. He hates his life, his job, and the special curse that makes him just like Susie. USA Today says best new series. The Time magazine said comic of the year. Girl meets boy, girl hooks up with boy, and for the first time in their lives, they find themselves alone together. So they do what any new young couple having sex in freezing time might do. They rob banks. Okay, so the story is they have sex. Because of that, she can freeze time, and then they go rob banks. It's kind of genius. It's a 3-part series. I heard it was fantastic. I just bought the first part because I wanted to see if I really liked it or not. Okay. Now, the next one is a book that the publisher sent me, and it is Bluff by Michael Curtis. And let me tell you why I was sent this book. Oh, they sent these really fun playing cards with it too over there, but it's over there, not here, so I can't show it. I did a review of his book, which I just randomly found on Audible like a year ago, and it was called, hold on a second, Before He Finds Her. And this was on the heels of me reading The Woman in Cabin 10. And The Woman in Cabin 10 is getting like, you know, just rave reviews, 5 stars. And I thought it was so bad, right? And then I read this guy's book, Michael Curtis's, and I was like, this book is genius. Like, this book is so good. Like, this book, Before He Finds Her, is literally a 5-star thriller. It was fantastic. And I did this whole video talking all about it. Well, they contacted me and they were like, can we send you a copy of his book? I think it just came out on April 3rd. Hold on, let me look. They sent me a whole, Grove Atlantic sent me a whole little thing about it. April 3rd. Bluff is a masterly exercise in narrative sleight of hand. This is suspense in its purest form, character-driven, immersive, and hopefully addictive. Prepare to be taken. Every magician knows the art of hiding truth in plain sight to pull off an amazing trick. And every card shark knows that with sleight of hand, there shouldn't be any trick to speak of. In his new novel, Michael Curtis takes us deep inside the fraught and fascinating story of a modern magician who plunges herself into the dark underworld of the card cheat. At 27, magician Natalie Webb is already a has-been. A card trick prodigy, she took first place at the World of Magic competition at 18 and never reached such heights again. Shunned by the magic world after a disastrous liaison with an older magician, she now lives alone with her pigeons and a pile of overdue bills in a New Jersey apartment. In a desperate ploy to make extra cash, she follows up on an offer to write a feature magazine article on the art of cheating cards. While scoping out the story in Atlantic City, she stumbles upon an unlikely poker cheat, a mousy kindergarten teacher named Ellen. Natalie is instantly dazzled by Ellen's sleight of hand and soon finds herself facing a proposition. To help pull off a $1.5 million magic trick that, if done successfully, no one will ever even suspect happened. If you're wondering how much of the truth Curtis is hiding in his pages, he likes to say that all of the magic in the book is real. The novel's premise of shadowing a professional card shark is rooted in a story Curtis once heard from a former student and magician. Cardos was even an amateur magician himself and deeply researched the details of magic and poker. So that every false deal, gambler's cop, and card thrown at 72 miles per hour is a fantastically real possibility. I I'm really excited to read this, you guys, and not just because they sent it to me, but like because his last book that I read was so fantastic. He has 5 books out total. The 3-Day Affair, Before He Finds Her, which is the one I read. One Last Good Time, Stories, and the Art of Craft and Fiction, a writer's guide. So go check it out, Bluff. Okay. Then Penguin Teen reached out to me and they said, can we send you some new books that are coming out? I said, are you kidding me? Now I feel like I'm a real booktuber. They're sending me ARCs. I'm so excited. And Penguin Teen. So they sent me Ember in the Ashes and Torch Against the Night. I'm only laughing. I think it's very, very nice that Penguin Teen sent me these books, but I own both of these books. So I may do a giveaway. I kind of do like these versions of them though. I do think they're kind of, you know, cool. So, I don't know. I may do a giveaway for the copies that I already have. I've been thinking about doing a giveaway on here recently anyway. My 2-year anniversary is coming up on May 11th. So, I think I'm going to do some kind of box giveaway on here. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. It'll probably be random or some kind of scavenger hunt or something like that. But I probably will include these books in there. Or I think I have both of them. I'm not sure. So anyway, I have both of them here, but I'm going to keep these 2 copies with me. So, okay. And then the last book that I got, I went on such a hunting spree the other day for My Sweet Audrina by V.C. Andrews. Now, if you do not know, I am starting Peter's Book Club on April 15th. It's a Sunday, and we are going to start reading My Sweet Audrina. The books in Peter's book club are going to be a little different than most book clubs. It will not be Oprah's book club, which I'm sure is a surprise to a lot of people knowing that I love Oprah Winfrey. And I love a lot of the books that she touts and talks about. But I want to do all fun, pop culture, kind of easy reads that don't have a lot of deep meaning to them, okay? I just think it would be fun to have a book club that's kind of an escape from everything else, if that makes sense. So I'm going to either do like books that are kind of like cult classic, fun, crazy books I've heard a lot about, books I've read, that, you know, those kinds of things. But they're all going to be kind of like pop culture-y books. So the first one that we're going to read is My Sweet Audrina by V.C. Andrews. I had to order it on Amazon. I just ordered it last night. But while I was at Half Price Books, I ended up getting Ruby by V.C. Andrews. In my vlog, somebody misunderstood what I was saying because I think they thought I meant that it went Flowers in the Attic, My Sweet Audrina, Heaven. No, I understand. Okay, it goes the whole Flowers in the Attic series, then My Sweet Audrina is a standalone, Heaven is a whole series, Ruby is a whole series, and Dawn is a whole series. Now, if this goes the way that I would like it to go, what I would like to do is read My Sweet Audrina, and then 2 weeks later, because we're going to do a new book every 2 weeks, will be Heaven by V.C. Andrews. If we like it, we're going to continue with the series and go through it that way. And then if we have fun with that, then we'll do another V.C. Andrews series maybe. If not, I'd like to do some books like Lucky by Jackie Collins, because I've talked so much about it on here, and I would love to do a reread of that. Or maybe we'll do Chances and Lucky, because they go together. There's like 5 books in the whole series of the Lucky Santangelo series. Chances is about her dad before she came into the picture. Or, you know, I want to do Valley of the Dolls by Jacqueline Suzanne. I've never read that, and I've always heard it was fantastic. There's a lot of, like, cult classic novels out there that I think would be really, really great. I've also thought about putting Clockwork Orange in there because I've never read it. I saw the movie years and years ago and loathed it. I did not like it at all, but I've heard the book is completely different. So put in the comment section below some kind of, like, pop culture, cult classics that you guys would like to read, and maybe we'll do that. You know, I'd like to, like, really switch it up and have some fun books that we can really talk about. I will also be doing one live stream per book within that time period of 2 weeks. It will be on YouNow. My YouNow is linked below. Go download the app for free, fan me, and then I will also be giving a heads up to when I'm going to do that a couple days in advance so you guys will know. And we're going to have like a group chat about the book that we're reading. So I am so excited. I don't know that I can hold up all of these books. So that is my super huge spring book haul of April. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.